Hey you guys, this is Jerry Mateo with recordingsoftware.com. Remember to check out the link in the description below where you can get an awesome deal on the plugins that we're going to be featuring in today's video. Hey you guys, welcome back. And today we're going to be actually taking a look at Nugen Audio and a custom bundle that I've created using 4 of their plugins. Those plugins are going to be their SEQ-S, which is a awesome linear phase spline style EQ. Let me just show you how this works. You can see that I have a bunch of little bands. I can switch between algorithms, so it'll give me more or less bands. And I can actually go right here into the depth and push it more or less, and even create a sharper or smoother curve. But a really cool thing is because it's linear phase and it has these spline curves, I can actually make extremely smooth and extremely clean transitions and even do really, really precise movements, but also keep things sounding extremely natural. You also have a high and low pass filter right here, so you can clean out unwanted frequencies. And you have the ability to create zones where you can either have it only being affected there or having it exclude that zone. Reset the curves and even use the advanced features to send signal into it to create a EQ matching curve. You also have these 2 buttons right here, which allows you to assign specific EQs to specific routing. One of them can be a mid, one of them can be side, and then I can have a third stereo EQ. It's really, really cool, really powerful. I'm going to bypass this plugin. You'll notice that the kick has a little bit more detail and is a little cleaner while also being bumped up a little bit. And I've also got rid of this kind of muddy frequency and added some spice to that clap. So listen to it with a bypass. On. Next we have the Stereoizer 3. This is my favorite stereo enhancing plugin. This has control from the output balance to you can tilt it left and right. You can link the parameters. You have 2 different algorithms. One of them is basically using time to actually create little micro delays, and that actually allows you to have a very, very wide stereo image, but they found a way to keep that phase coherent. So you can actually fold it down into mono, and it'll be completely mono compatible. The other algorithm uses more of an EQ curve, where it basically has tiny, tiny, minute EQ differences on each side, and that actually makes it sound wide while also keeping it phase coherent, and it sounds completely invisible. Now, you have a lot of controls from the focus for the upper and the lower sections. This basically allows you to focus in on a more detailed sound with the IID algorithm. You have the low bounds and the high bounds for both the IID and ITD. And of course, you can link them. I have them linked right now just because it'll be easier for demonstration. But this allows you to actually choose where it starts and where it stops spreading the stereo image. You have your control on the width right here. You have your linear width right here. You have your resolution and inversion for the IID, and you have the fill and acuity for the ITD. These basically are how detailed and how filled is the sense of space that it's giving you. So let's check this out with the bypass. Turn it on. You can really hear it on those claps especially. So if we did a little bit of change, like maybe we did this, bypass, and then I can mono it up. Nice and very phase coherent. So I'm just going to turn off the fill, adjust the resolution and the acuity, and then we're going to go to the Monofilter. This is a great plugin, and if you do music that you want to play at a club, you need the Monofilter. I do live sound for a bunch of events and a bunch of clubs. And the one thing is all of our stereo systems are stereo, but our low end is always mono. And a lot of DJs and acts have this weird, crazy phasing stereo bass sound, and they get mad because it sounds bad in a club or in a place that has 5,000 people. That's because most bass systems are mono. In fact, 99% of them are. So this is a great way to actually control your stereo image on your low end and your high end. So you can tell it to either be completely mono, be slightly monoed up, or even just tell it to be abruptly mono or have a very, very smooth transition. You even have a high cutoff filter right here, which is great if you want to cut out some low end, but I don't ever use that because I do that with an EQ beforehand. You have 0 latency for quick work. You have linear phase, and you have high quality, which is even more precise, but I usually don't need it. You have the ability to control the phase of it, so you can actually change how it's reacting to itself once it's been folded down, or you can hit auto, which I prefer auto. It just does it for me. And you have output for mono, stereo, or full. So if you listen to mono, stereo, or full, bypass it, and on. You can just hear how it has a little bit more detail. Next is the ISL2, this is Nugen Audio's True Peak limiter, my favorite limiter. I use this for all post-production work and for pretty much any mastering work that I have to do. This is really easy. You have an input gain and you have your output limiter threshold. You basically tell it where it's going to put its threshold and you just gain up into it. You have your look ahead, you have your release, you have an auto. I recommend keeping auto on just because it detects low frequencies and it automatically makes the release just for low frequencies a little bit longer so it doesn't distort. It has your channel link, which basically means it'll limit your left and right differently. You have your tether modes from 16-bit, 18-bit, 20-bit. You have your types and you have your shaping. You have your auto listen mode and your difference listen mode, and it's pretty much good to go. Looks good and it's clean and easy. You can also make it look nice and small if you want to, but I personally kind of like the way it looks. You also have this little cool histogram right here if you click on this H. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bypass all of these plugins and we're going to see what this sounds like before. And after. So there you go. It sounds pretty good. This didn't take a lot of work because these are just really easy tools to use. And overall, I'm really happy with the results I'm getting, especially with how easy these tools are. So don't forget to check out the link in the description below. And this is Jerry Mateo with recordingsoftware.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.